KarsaKKWx. Karsa's my name, KKWx is my empire. We were unfortunately going through a lot of technical difficulties yesterday, and the crew did, while they did finish the story, unfortunately the technical difficulties did not allow for us to have voice. Therefore, I am going to let you know exactly what happened during our story. Let's get to it. So due to the technical difficulties, our sound was not working, and so I decided to summarize the faults of man for you. At the beginning of the segment, Max was already dead. We had gone through the tunnel where there were 3 alien beings, slender bodies and no earlobes, were standing at a ship in 3 different places. The one that was in the center was the leader. They were stunned that we had made it to there, and during the short moment of relapse, we took time to look and search for the button that we were told to press, allowing the man in the suit to be free and allowing our people also to be free and return home safely, or so we thought. Keiran, as he heads into the ship, takes the first attack on the one of the Slendermen. Grover heads for the one who seems to be in charge and attacks him, while Megan, my character, is heading directly for the button and skips attacking everything in her wake just so she could get to that button. The weapons that they had, as far as the aliens, were of otherworldly feel. The weapons could be morphed from a baton to a pistol to a shotgun. For the most part, the characters continued to not be hit by any of the attacks, and at the beginning, they were using batons against us, hopefully just to make us unconscious. But it did not work that way, especially when Grover went to smash the casing so that Megan could hit the button, the red button, and finish the task. However, as she went for the button, the aliens considered her more of a threat, and the panic began. They decided to shoot her and succeeded, taking her down to 3 hit points. Also managing to stun her so that she could do nothing for the next round. Panic continued as Keiran, who seemed to be bulletproofed, managed to get out of the way of the bullets while Grover took the shot after shot, killing one alien after another. Unfortunately, Megan was not so lucky, and the next attack against her was a headshot. Both Grover and Keiran saw this and took that resolve to end the other 2 aliens. While Keiran was not having as much success in killing them, he was managing not to be hit either. Keiran does a fantastic job of distracting one of the critters, using his flash on his camera to stun them. This was enough for Grover to finish the attack and kill the 3rd and final alien. At this point, the fight was over. Megan had hit the button, but that also cost her life. Grover attempted to save her with first aid, but she was too far gone. The man in the suit steps through what seems to be a portal and is surprised to find that they are not dead, all except for, well, that's unfortunate, Megan. then responds to them saying that they had kept their word and now he was going to keep his, and allowed them to walk back through the portal to the ship. Instead of leaving Megan on that ship that was now hurling into what seemed to be a black hole, Grover picks up Megan to take her through in hopes that she could too be saved. There they see Ross, who has put the chief of security's body in a ritual circle and has decided to bring them back, with the understanding that they would definitely not be able to talk back. Grover asks if he can do anything for Megan in bringing her back, but finds that it's not the way anyone would want to return. Ross says, "Sure, but not how you would like it," as he raises from the dead the chief of security. Now they will follow me without question. Grover decides that Megan would not want this and decides to take her with him to keep Ross from bringing her back alive. Or unalived. Meanwhile, Ross continues to raise all the dead crew, including Max, into zombies. Grover, Keiran, and the last of the 8 live members find that the ship is heading west and crashes on the coast of Canada. Due to them living, they manage to get double their pay, while the dead families only get what the contracts stated. Some remember that they were undead. Some of them remember that there were some undead that were in the ship, but they kept it silent. During this time, the man in the suit laughs, thinking that he never thought he would get out of his prison, but it worked. And now he seems to feel just a bit peckish, looks down at his next possible meal, and begins his new life, ready to devour whatever is down there. Showing the crew, indeed, let the monster free. Keiran decides to write a book after the ordeal, after many years. No one believes him, and Ross's crew takes his book and rewrites it so that it can never be fully believed. Grover, he just finishes his final days in peace, never looking back and never seemed to be fazed by what he had gone through. However, when he died, he did want to make sure that he was cremated, never to return back as a zombie. Megan, well, she returned to her family to be cremated and safe from Ross's meddling to make her into an unalived zombie. The rest of the original crew, including Max, well, they were not so lucky. The ones that died ended unalived as zombies and as a skeletal crew for Ross to continue his next stage in his mission. The secretary, unfazed, while asking for Ross's attention, had prepared his new schedule and his next mission. Unfortunately, what seems to be true is that the crew's mission, while successful, showed that the faults of man, how they would be willing to do anything to save their own skin and their own kin. Morality just goes out the door when lives are on the line. Thank you for listening to our show, and I apologize that we were not able to give you the full show at the end. However, this is KarsaKKWx. Karsa's my name. KKWX is my empire. And thank you again. Until next time. Goodbye.